Well, hello BookTube, hello book friends, welcome or welcome back to another video. As you can probably tell from the title, I want to talk about my Read What You Own challenge and my December plans for what I'm going to be kind of reading between now and the end of the year. Or at least now and Christmas, because Christmas may throw a few curveballs in the shapes of books as Christmas presents, I guess, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So let's start. I've made some notes, so excuse me for looking down and reading when I should be looking at the camera and talking. My Read What You Own challenge, I finished my 25th book yesterday, kind of late evening before bedtime, which was I can't even remember what it was now, The Blood Orchid by Jonathan Kellerman, I think. The Ghost Orchid, sorry, by Jonathan Kellerman. I couldn't remember quite. I knew there was an orchid in the title, which is a crime novel. It's a long-running series because this is, I don't know, this is, I think, in the 30s in terms of the number of books that the author's published in this series. It was okay. Yeah, I'll talk about it a bit more when I do my weekly wrap-up next week. But yeah, that was my 25th book, and I'm only doing the bronze tier in the Read What You Own challenge because I thought it would take me probably about a year to do 100 books, which is the platinum tier, I think. So I thought I would do the bronze tier and then just see where we got to. So that was my plan. Basically it was Read What You Own, and part of the plan was to tackle this pile that's up here, and I would say I have kind of managed to do that to some extent, but I've been moving books around so the pile doesn't look any smaller, which is a bit of a foobar, I think. But anyway, where did we start? I started a bit early. I started when the clocks changed at the end of October. So I started on the 27th of October, and I finished yesterday, which was the 30th of November. So I read 25 books and 6,551 pages. Now, this year, the Read What You Own challenge is doing a number of books or a certain number of pages, given that, you could read like one book that's kind of like, might take you ages and is like 1,500 pages. And I'll come back to that in a bit, but I thought the bronze tier, so I've only just hit the page count because the page count for bronze was 6,250 pages, I think. Let me just check because I've written that down somewhere. Yeah, bronze, 6,250 pages. So I only just hit that, and at one point I thought I was going to hit the page count before I hit the number of books count. And part of the reason for that is because I've read a lot of short books, and I'll come back to that. So the shortest book I read was 17 pages, and that was An Occurrence at Albridge by Ambrose Bierce, which was a kind of mystery ghost story. And the longest book I read was 493 pages, and that was Craig Thomas's The Hooded Crow, or A Hooded Crow, I can't remember which it is. Now, I think partly because I've read most of my books in November. I think of the 25, something like 22 or 23 of them were read in November, which is in itself is a bit of a record for me. But I was focusing quite a lot, intentionally and unintentionally, on shorter books. Now, unintentionally because I did quite a lot of books for Novelisation November. So, and they tend to be like 150, 175, 200 pages, so quite short. So under the kind of page average of 250 pages. So yeah, I think that kind of explains why the page count is down, and also why I've managed to do it so quickly. I think last year I did it before I was on BookTube, and it took me about 2.5-3 months to do 25 books. So I've kind of smashed that record completely, and it's weird because it's left me feeling a bit odd. Now, it was great to read books that I already own and discover quite a few that I've had for a long time and haven't read, and have actually been really fantastic books. And I've also discovered a few books that I've had where I DNF'd them. I'm not saying I won't go back to them, but I just couldn't get on with them. Now, I haven't counted those within my 25 because I figured, if I DNF'd a book, I wasn't going to count it. Now, it might be that if I do it again, I change that, because I just think, if you've read a third of a book or whatever, should you count it? I don't think you should, but maybe I'll think on that. But yes, of course, there's quite a few that I've DNF'd because I just didn't enjoy them, and they're books that I've had for ages. And I'm kind of like, well, why did I don't remember why I bought those books in the first place. Whether they were 99p Kindle daily deals or what. And I think the majority, over half of what I've read has been on my Kindle. So it's been sort of 50-50, but I would say slightly, 55-60% on my Kindle maybe. The big thing for me, though, is I didn't like having to count. And I think if I were ever to do this again, I would see if there was a way I could say, well, okay, I'm going to do the Read What You Own challenge. Same rules, must be books that I already own, can't buy any new book, etc. But I'm going to do it for 3 months or 4 months or 6 months or whatever. Because I really, and I know this is true generally of me, I don't like challenges where I've got you must read 25 books, or you must, or 100 books, or whatever it is. It just doesn't work for me. It's like the Goodreads reading challenge. You set yourself a target of however many books, and you read until you hit that target. Now, that's fine. I know in an average year I read somewhere between, well, it's gone up recently, but let's say between 80 and 100 books. I'm over that this year by quite a way, but so if I set a target for 80 books, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit that in a year, unless something significant happens. There's a major life change, or something happens that means I don't read a lot. But what I find is, if I've got that target, I'm just like, I'm trying to hit the target all the time, and I just don't like that feeling of competitive reading. I would rather read thoughtfully and for pleasure than trying to hit that sort of a target. So I think if I do the challenge again, or any challenge for that matter, I'm going to focus on not the numbers, basically. So let's do it for a month, or let's do it for 3 months, or whatever. But let's not say it's 25 books or 100 books or whatever it is. That said, my plan is to continue Read What You Own challenge until at least Christmas, maybe the end of the year, depending on, as I say, what Christmas throws into the mix. So let's see if I can get a couple of books off the top of that stack at least. And I'm going to allow one trip to the Village Book Exchange box, probably tomorrow, as a treat, as a reward for completing 25. And we'll see where we get to. So that's my Read What You Own challenge. I'm going to carry on. And that kind of leads me into my December reading plans, which is to carry on with the Read What You Own challenge at least till Christmas. I'm also doing a Dickens at Christmas, my journey with Charles Dickens, and tomorrow assuming this goes out today. I can edit it and get it up before tomorrow. The first part of my reading of A Christmas Carol will be live at, I think it's set for 8 a.m. GMT. So if you're not in the UK, adjust your clocks accordingly. So it might drop before you go to bed, or it might be there ready for you when you get up in the morning. So that's part 1, and then parts 2, 3 and 4 will be on the following Mondays, and then part 5 will be on Christmas Eve, which is a Tuesday. So that's, and I'm going to be reading, having obviously read A Christmas Carol out loud, I'm going to be reading something else Dickens focused, probably A Cricket on the Hearth, and possibly something else. I haven't decided what the something else is. Probably one of the longer novels, but we'll see. So yeah, that's really my kind of December plans, is to tackle Mount TBR on top of my filing cabinet, read some Dickens, post some videos about Dickens, or some audio videos about Dickens, and yeah, we'll see. I've got a couple of other videos planned. I want to talk about sort of how I do log my books, so I want to talk about this, so that'll be another video coming up hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And I think I've been tagged in a couple of places, so I've probably got some tag videos to do. Yeah, so that's December plans. What happens in 2025? I haven't really thought that far ahead, to be perfectly honest. So I guess that's also part of my December. What am I doing next year? There's a few of the kind of annual events that I want to take part in, but we'll see. So yeah, that's it. If you have been, thanks for watching, and I will speak to you again next time. Take care now. Bye bye.